Get out of your 50K that you earn in a week, how should someone save? What do you advise someone out there to
Me,
do to save up
me,
some money?
I'm going to answer this. I'm going to answer this in a bit a contradicting way.
Mm.
Then also I am going to bring out. I am
Mm.
going to
In
go.
one
I'm
minute,
going to go
each
behind.
one of us is going to have
Mm,
a
I'm
minute.
going to bring this around in a way that there is one thing I need. I need a young person to understand is that you see, money. I think because of how we are being raised, money and emotions, there is a way they work hand in hand. You get now. Somebody is going to say that, okay, how is this related to the question that has been asked? Let me give you an example. It's more like when you have something you treasure, can be like a girlfriend. You get
Mm.
you need to. It's hard for you to maintain a girlfriend or wife or whatever it is if you are going to be a person who is emotionally attached to whatever that is. It could be like maybe money, it could be girlfriend or what. You
Mm.
have to be able to reach a point whereby you it has to be, let's say, you have to use your brain a lot, not your heart.
To
Not your
save.
feelings, yourself. Because you are going to be a person who's going to be like, okay, let's say in every day I make like, at least I am able to make like 10,000, minus, after that is after things like feeding, transport, and so on. I'm going to be able to have 10K.
Mm.
You have to set your mind and tell yourself that, what, I am going to be removing 5,000 every day. That's what I'm going to say. It doesn't matter what chips in there. You get, whether you fall sick or whatever it is, you tell yourself that, what, because
Maintain
trust,
the discipline.
maintain the discipline. Because let me tell you one thing: every time you get the whatever, you get a knowledge about something, there is always, for you to gain wisdom out of that knowledge,
A person.
there is always a test that comes after that. Again, there's always there's always a test that comes after that, for to help you grow, to
Mm.
make you understand, okay, have you learned the what? Have you learned this lesson? So today it may come in a form of a girlfriend has called you. She has really called you. I need money, maybe I need transport, I want to come and see you, but I what?
Mm.
But remember, you have told yourself, this money which I'm going to put here, I am not going to do what?
Touch.
But you want to knock. The
Yes.
girlfriend is coming. If you don't send the money, she'll what? But if
You
you
do.
tell yourself that I'm going to dodge knocking today
Like
and
save.
save what? Save my money.
Yes.
That one will go. Another one will what? Probably you fall sick, or somebody relative wants you. So it's more about the mindset.
Yes.
If you can remove your emotions from it,
From the saving.
from the saving, not only the saving, from what you have set your mind. You've told yourself, I am going to walk from here up to Soroti. You can't be there. You reach the middle there and you say, I think I can't do this. You have to what? It doesn't matter the emotions and so on.
Mm.
So it's more, I don't know, it's more about
Discipline
discipline,
and consistency.
and developing a habit. You get.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, Benji, from your earnings, how do you manage to save for the things that you want? Things that your earnings can give you at once. Let's say you've set a goal, you want your iPhone 17, but then you can't earn the 7 million or 10 million or whatever amount once. You have to save. How do you manage to keep your money for you to achieve a goal?
I think first you need to have managerial skills,
Mm.
and of course financial management is key. If you really want to save, you need to have a skill. You need to know what you want. You need to you
Yes.
need to set priorities. You get, yeah. So take for example, uh, this month maybe you want, of course, rent is always
Yes.
important. Your rent is due. Then girlfriend is coming, and You
You want to go out and chill.
chill. So you need to come up with what is your priority. You get. So when that comes in, and maybe of course rent is priority. Yeah, yeah, and you pay, meaning your managerial skills are, yeah. So I think that me just know how to manage your finances and always consider your priorities. Not everything is priority, of course. Yeah, and just know what is the need and what is the want. You just beat around.
Yeah.
That's
You focus on
yeah, what
what
you
you
really
want.
yeah. Okay.
Mercy, you're so anxious. Sam, what do you do to save?
What do I do to say?
Yes. What skills do you put in play for you to achieve what you want through your earnings?
First of all, it has to start with personal.
Mm. As a person.
As a person, you can't just jump in if you're not ready for that. You can't just wake up and say, I don't want it because you don't want it because you really don't have money to it.
Mm.
So it starts with what am I putting first so that I can do this.
Priority.
Like that's he said like earlier, this one I said about priorities, the other one I said about consistency and discipline. These things have to work together. There's motivation, there's discipline. Those things are different. You can be motivated today, you can save and say, I need to save this amount of money. But then sometimes when something pressure comes
You
in,
get demotivated. You lose.
yeah, the motivation.
You look at 6 miles and happy.
And you get the point. So you realize that this may not come here. So about saving, first the thing you need is to set aside your goals. Because you cannot just save because you want to save.
Yeah.
No matter the money, the surplus you get, but you must put a reason why you put that. Brings in your mind that I am putting this money for this purpose, so that at the end of the day, you achieve that purpose and again continue for another purpose.
So saving is supposed to be continuous.
Yes, it's a continuous
You
thing.
should be hungry.
Yes, you should be anxious to what? You can't just say, I need this thing, but how am I going to approach to it? Like, yeah, it is a big thing, but now I have small. But okay, patience, I can what? I can still get it. What am I going to do? Make myself believe that if this money is put for this, it must stay for what? For that particular what? Thing. So, and also it matters on how much you earn. You remember, you can't just put your money all in one basket. What if anything?
You can't earn 3K and you save
and
1.5.
Yes, you get like I get 1K, then you first save 5K. Like you confuse everything. So literally, saving comes also from how much you earn, because you may not have you might have a bigger goal, but now your income does not fit even saving for that. Remember, there are even certain things you're supposed to first say no to, even when it comes to your personal being, even maybe your relationship or your relatives around, like everything, because you handle this. But if you always, that's now when it comes to mixing emotions, what
When she wants to come and you're
forget
focused
about
on the goal.
first forget about these things of naki. This is serious. What?
Yes, but of course, you see, there's when you want to. She stays in Mbarara. She stays in Mbarara.
Yes,
Money that
I know, I know. But the thing is, I cannot be there. I mean, I can be actually literally be there. Like Timo has called me and he said that, man, I am stuck. I need some 50,000. But deep me, I have not. I have actually saved the money because I want stuff. But you've called me, so I'm going to be dragged by your emotions. That since this man is crying, let me first give him the money. Yet I forgot that I myself I did it because I wanted what?
Save the money.
Save. So you can't mix emotions with that kind of a thing. If something is not right, you don't have to touch what this has.
The saving is a saving.
Saving what?
Whether a man is dying or no.
That's why you should. That's why you need to. Now you find that if you're saving, also you put a deadline to what? To your saving, so that you meet the right time, because you cannot keep on postponing what your plans. If you say that I want to save till July, that's when this money meets what my requirement is. So at the end of the day, you're going to save up to July. So that by the time July comes in, push that what goal into a what aside. After that goal is saved, you can say, okay, now this time around I want to do this. What am I going to do? I will have to do what? Do this. So you keep on moving. Like it grows as a habit. Small things like build up. Like not about just saying.
Literally saving is supposed to have a target,
Yes.
a time frame, And a goal.
That is it. And then also a limit of what you're saving. Even if you make 100, okay, let me say like you make $1 million in a month, but the thing is, doesn't matter that because you've made 1 million today, you want to save 500, tomorrow you want to put 200. No, get a specific amount of money that you're going to be saving. That gives you a gap and a
It
room
doesn't matter
for
whether you
other
make
things.
2
You
million
get
tomorrow,
whether you make
say-
2 million, but if your goal is to save 500,000 per what per week, that is what you're going to save. Even if you get a deal of 10 million, this week must go with what 500. Even if I keep that money, tomorrow's week I will save what 500 from the same money, but don't get that extra amount of saying that since I got 10 million, if I put it once there, you're going to relax because you know already you've saved advance. You get
So it doesn't work with
it
excitement.
doesn't work with excitement. You get
Consistent.
it is just you to train your your brain know that the week has come to pass. I need to what put this money into the account or
Thank you so much.
this an activity.
Thank you so much. That's a very good submission. Let's first hear from the only lady. That's it.
Yes,
How do you save?
I swear when it comes
You save from your man's pocket, wherever you save from. How do you manage to put that money together until it gives you something?
when it comes
How
to
much?
saving, I have had
Yeah.
incidences where the money I've saved today is the one saving me the next.
Yes.
So I am not good at saving. I will not lie. I will not lie.
Yes.
So me, I have my friend. She's called Linda.
Mm.
She's stingy. She's an accountant. She's stingy. For me to get like I always send money to her. If I have money, I send her like twice a month.
Mm. She saves for you.
Yeah. But when I ask for it, even if I'm dying, she will tell me we shall give we shall give her free. Like for her, when you've given her money, you can't get it back. Even if I am dying, I can call and I be like, babe, I'm broke. Call me some money. But for what? Call your man. I say, because I don't have money. She will tell me, find other ways. I've already fixed it. It's fixed.
Mm.
So me, I don't have this.
You don't have a saving habit. Okay.
I will see chicken and buy.
Thank you so
I
much.
will see
Can you
anything.
imagine
I will see a
how
nice cloth and
you
I
see,
buy it.
like training this as a mentality? I remember when I began saving, the first thing I did was to tell my friend that have my phone, change my PIN number. Whenever I need money, and it's in my phone.
There's a point I had that
Me,
pin now.
deny me.
But I think I'll
Deny me that
do and we
money.
ate the money.
Yes, no, it's hard
Deny
to
me that
say.
money.
Mm.
You get like I kept on putting now. And sometimes I'll be like, why am I going to put this money in my phone? Because I'm not going to pick it now. You get that temptation, and then you cannot focus on the phone.
Mm.
So now you be saving. There are different ways of saving. There's you saving for a future goal. Then there's that saving and saying that I am actually saving to save myself
Yes.
at this period of time. Like
In the next situation that might come abruptly.
uh-huh. So you realize that you're supposed to first deny some certain things that bring so much into what temptations.
Yes. Yeah, I get it. So you want to briefly.
Then also, there's one thing I think people overlook when it comes to the art of saving. First of all, saving as one element. The reason as why it doesn't work always, like because there are a lot of people who save by them. People even who follow those principles of saving. But if you see their life 2 to 3 years, there is nothing which is adding up.
That's not goal. Of course, that's saving.
That's why I told you that if we bring the thing out as an element, then we tackle it alone. That's why most people get lost. That's why they say get, save, then invest wisely, not just investing,
That's
but
right.
investing wisely. Investing wisely there are people who can you have saved your entire maybe for the entire year. Probably you've gotten maybe like let's say 200 or let's say maybe 1 million. You've gotten 1 million, then you get that 1 million and you're going to invest into something which is not going to change your life in any way. So
Invest in it wrongly.
wrongly. So that is the thing. Most times people emphasize on save guys, save money. Yes,
you don't know what you're
saving
saving
is
for.
good. That's why you can find there are people who don't actually even save. You get, for them, they don't know they don't have the art of saving, but they are doing well. Why? Because for them, they are these people. Somebody, they are quick thinkers and decision makers. Somebody gets the money like this. For them, instead of focusing on how to save, they are focusing on how which whatever which ideas are there.
Now,
Which whatever.
now that's why it comes in a way that it also determines how much you earn. Because that kind of saving, if maybe me, I'm a jackpot hitter. If my money comes in a month and it's 10 million, why can't I just put it saved? I mean, directly what? To the investment.
No, it can be. Yet that's why I'm like, you see, your 10 million can be my 10K. You get, there are investments that are actually that can whatever. How do I say this? That are able to contain or to handle each and every amount that we get. Because let me tell you, the amount you get is different from the amount I get. It's different.
Are you aware that there is a guy who wants 20K to start a egg selling business?
You see, you get that kind
Then
of.
there's another guy who wants 150 to buy a jerry can of petrol again to Rashuka.
Yeah. So instead of I always I don't know, I most times I don't know, maybe because of how I have studied the people who are really where I want to be. You get, and I have tried it sometimes. Not that I encourage people to do it, but I've tried it most times. Like, instead of this thing, because trust me, each and every one of us, there will be a moment. There has been a moment. It can be a month, it can be in a year, it can be in a week. There has always been a moment whereby you've hit a certain amount of money, which is what? Which is a bit, It's a bit more like they will always be that time. Yeah, there will always be that time. But now you see, the thing is, if we focus our minds more on saving, it becomes like security. It's more like we're looking at it like security. That means we be locked in the idea of fear. You know that yes, you have saved, but instead of yes, you've got this money. Instead of trying ideas that would have probably changed your life or whatever it is, you're like you get that kind of thing.
Now,
there's always that fear that comes from.
And then also, before you go,
I want us to conclude.
I want to we this topic is so sensitive. There's one thing we should realize is one. First of all, this is our country. Okay, it's not like how other countries do. Okay, like let's say that the people who don't save their money physically to what, but they save their money into their growing what. Like let's say like digital money. You get. So if I make my 1 million and I put it in my digital account, it is okay. Even if I don't put it in the bank, maybe in the 10 years ahead it will what? It will grow. But now us here, it's like we're actually more so saving into targets. That because okay, I need to buy land, but what am I going to do? So I don't have that cash once.
No, in Uganda, we are only taught one way of saving. Redundant, making money redundant. Put in a box under the pillow, or the advanced way is to the bank.
There's
no one will advise you that
also,
save through an investment.
So,
buy land, leave 10 million there. After 10 years, it will multiply something.
So you notice that even that thing of fear is natural. You get, like, it comes because you're not prepared for what tomorrow brings. You might actually have like, but there's only one thing someone should know is one, the art of saving. If you dedicate yourself to save, no matter the situation, even if you get that money, it's an urgent money you picked, it becomes a loan to you. Your personal money becomes a loan to you. You make sure that you have to put back that money, because the reason why you save that money is because you work. So if I am supposed to pay that money, I am supposed to know that it's my money, but I am not supposed to use it. I have to replace that money. I have borrowed it from my own account. I have to put it back inside that time like this.
Sam, as you conclude, personally, me myself, unlike all of you, my saving scheme involves me getting a debt. Like if I want to save my money, I have to make sure that I get a debt somewhere.
Put in that money.
Yes. Then I keep paying the money. So I pick a debt, invest, then whatever I earn,
You
It goes
get
back to the loan.
It goes back to the loan. That is how I do it.
Now, yeah, that works, but either way, it can still affect you. It's like more so. Let's say you having more advance on your phone, and then urgent money needs you help that moment, but you have to first pay the loan. Before you clear the loan, you need something. That what? So at the end of the day, you know that you're going to start running away from what? That
From
thing.
the loan.
Yeah, you get. Because now, first of all, the social has hit. I need to what? I need to do this, but now this.
Sami, but remember, we are trying to develop what?
It's
It's more like a vehicle. You're trying to develop your own vehicle. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be the way I do it. Because trust me, I can tell you right now, from A to Z, that this is how, for me, I save money, and this is what it works for me. And when you start it, it may not work for you.
Yeah.
It works for another person.
It works for another person. Now, like for me, I am this person whereby I am constantly looking for how to multiply what are products in the whatever, how can people whatever, so that by the time, anytime I get an amount of money, even if right now, if I get like 10 million like this, there is already somewhere that money can
go
instead of me, because I don't know.
Let's last one. That's why it comes like also. What makes it different is what do we think? What is your goal? You get? We can be seated here. We have different plans, isn't it? Your plan is to save for a motorcycle. Your plan is for saving for land. That means we cannot equalize in that.
Others save for
You
women.
get? Yes, you get.
That's
So
why
now,
I told
if
you.
I am seated here and my head is looking at what? Something like this. I mean that in my head, I need that for me to achieve that, I need this amount of money. No matter how much we earn together, we might even be earning the equal money. But now the thing is,
The goal
what does my
goal
goal
differ.
require?
That's when
me what I have grasped from this conversation is that saving has about 3 or 4 rules we should follow. One is consistency. Second one is discipline. The third one is knowing how much to save from your earnings. And the fifth one is staying focused to the goal.
and
Ladies and gentlemen,
identify the vehicle.
thank you so
The
much
vehicle.
for
Because-
watching. This is the
Subaru.
Good Luck Show. Follow
If
us on
actually I
Facebook,
want
TikTok,
Subaru Legacy.
And
And it's how much
YouTube
money?
and
20 million.
subscribe. Thank
Go
you so
for the
much.
20 million. How
Yes.
many months?
Cut.
You say, you must cut.